All right, let's go. Hopefully, you all survived the financial roller coaster that was last week. If not, well, survival of the fittest, right? People keep asking me, is the market dead? Or is crypto over? And to those people, I say, life is hard, but it's harder when you make bad decisions. We have a lot to unpack in today's video, and if you're easily offended, this might not be for you. No punches will be pulled, no sugarcoating, and yes, I will be calling out the liars and frauds. So here's what's on the agenda. Crypto markets are in absolute chaos. What's next for Bitcoin, XRP, and altcoins? The government is making some big moves on crypto regulation. Good news or bad news? A major Wall Street institution is shifting gears on digital assets. What does this mean for investors? And of course, we're taking a look at some wild political news, because let's be honest, policy impacts your money more than you think. Oh, and if you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment on what you think is next for crypto. Now let's get into it. Let's start with the markets. Over the weekend, Bitcoin took a massive dip, wiping out billions in market cap. People are panicking. Reddit forums are in shambles. Twitter is full of doom and gloom posts. But is this really the end? Let's take a step back. Bitcoin is still holding above key levels, and historically, every time we've seen a crash like this, a big rally wasn't far behind. In fact, take a look at this chart. See this pattern? We've been here before. And what happened next? A massive pump. But here's the real question. Who's actually selling? Because smart money isn't. Institutions are accumulating, whales are buying, and yet retail investors are panic dumping their bags. Sound familiar? Yeah, it's the same story every time. Meanwhile, the US government is making some interesting moves on crypto. A new bill just dropped that could either be a game changer or a complete disaster. Some lawmakers want tighter regulations, others want innovation to thrive. The battle is on. And speaking of government intervention, let's talk about these mystery wallet transactions. Some serious Bitcoin movements have been happening from wallets linked to the SEC, and people are wondering, what's really going on here? Are they preparing for something big? Now let's talk about the big guys, Wall Street. A major financial institution that once trashed crypto is now quietly changing its stance. Not gonna name names, but let's just say it rhymes with Bold Man Blacks. They're launching new digital asset services and pushing blockchain tech harder than ever. And get this, insider reports say they're preparing for massive institutional adoption. But why now? What do they know that retail investors don't? You can't talk about money without talking about politics. The DNC just made a major leadership change, and let's just say, it's already making waves. Meanwhile, former President Trump is doubling down on tariffs that could have huge ripple effects on the economy. Oh, and speaking of ripples, pun intended, the SEC versus Ripple case is heating up again. Could this be the final stretch before we see a full-blown XRP explosion? So what's next for crypto? Are we looking at another bull run? Or is this just the beginning of a prolonged downturn? Here's my take. Short-term volatility? Yes. Long-term adoption? Absolutely. The only question is, are you prepared? The market is designed to shake out the weak hands. The question is, will you be one of them, or are you holding strong? Let me know in the comments where you think the market is headed. And if you want to stay ahead of the game, make sure you're subscribed with notifications on. I'll be back with updates as things unfold. Until next time, stay sharp, stay informed, and most importantly, stay in the game.